Hey, so how you guys making out today? I hope that you're feeling a little bit better. I know it's been rough, guys. I know the last few days, so many of us have been having, that strange headache that doesn't want to lift, the body stuff, the walking between worlds, all the highly activated nervous system. Yeah, we've been having lots. So we'll see if today, so far, fingers crossed, it feels a little bit different. We have a little bit of astral weather showing up. I think we have a K3 index is what it's reached so far. The Schumann, though, is still really, really low. So it's sitting at a power only of 7. So remember, the Schumann being Mother Gaia's heartbeat, and so the base frequency is 7.8. So if it's sitting at a 7, it's usually on these days, and let me know if you've noticed this, you might not be such a geek like I am, that you go in and check on these things to correlate with your moods or how you're feeling, but I do. So it's 7.8 is its like base frequency, but when it's at a 7, I notice that we kind of feel lower in energy, so lower vibrationally frequency wise, which if we like talk about in terms of emotions, it could be feeling sad, you could be feeling lethargic, there could just be like a little bit of a dampness, spirit is saying right now, like a heaviness, and they're just saying to me and how that goes hand in hand with the physical body as well. So if we talk about dampness in the body, that could be like achiness, that could feel your joints feel immobile, right? There's just that like lack of movement, right? Like that. Also, the energetically, like the lack of the sense of freedom, right? So you might feel kind of like you're bogged down or weighed down. Isn't it cool how all this like is interchangeable from the body to the mind to the soul to the spirit? It just, yeah, sometimes it's really cool. Sometimes it's complicated, right? It makes things complicated. So they wanted to talk today to us, though, about our nervous systems. And so there's an interesting thing because it's the one thing we all have nervous systems, right? We all have that. It's part of our human vehicle. But there's an interesting thing that happens because somewhere along the way on your soul's journey, your nervous system gets calibrated differently depending on your experiences. And so let me know. I want some feedback from you guys in the comments about this, because those of us who consider ourselves to be empaths or energetically sensitive beings, we have highly sensitive nervous systems. And the reason that we have highly sensitive nervous systems is because we have experienced a lot of trauma, a lot of drama in our life, and usually at a very young age. So usually at some point between ages, 0 and 7, we have experienced something significant that has recalibrated the nervous system. Now, you could look at this as a defect. You could look at it as this is something that we need to fix, something that is broken within us. But you can also look at it, because Spirit's just saying, you can look at it as a key to a different kingdom, which is very interesting. They're saying that. Now, because of that, because we have that highly sensitive nervous system, we experience things differently. Everything we experience differently. Every experience is different. Can I say it one more time? Every experience that we experience is different because we have highly sensitive nervous systems. Now, what does that mean? That means that often we're able to get to the heart of the matter. We're able to see the big picture on things. We're able to see all perceptions of it. So we don't have a limited perception of it. Now, you could say that that's great, and it certainly helps me do my job, because when I'm doing readings for clients, when I'm working with people, when I'm helping people to heal, it allows me to see, the intensity of it and to feel it and, be able to go through it. It gives me those great insights. But if you weren't using it for those things, it could just feel like it complicates stuff, right? Like too much information, too much data, like system overload. And so there's a few things that we can do, though, to kind of like hack this system or heal this system. And Spirit just wants me to just not say about healing it right now, because they're saying healing would imply that it's broken. And they're saying that there's purpose to everything. That's a big one, right? Reminding yourself that there's purpose to everything. There's great purpose as to, when you as an empath had that trauma, that drama when you were a child, it wasn't just the luck of the draw. It wasn't bad luck. It wasn't just timing. You have a purpose, and part of that purpose was recalibrating your nervous system so that you could experience things differently. Now, your reason could be anything. It's not a one size fits all when it comes to our ascension journey, our soul's path, right? It's very unique depending on, what you've gone through in past lifetimes, what your lineage is, what your ancestors are healing from, right? It's a massive equation that, is a lot to try and go through. But the thing we want to focus on right now is just having this understanding that everything serves a purpose. The way you're feeling things is serving a purpose. The way you are experiencing things is serving a purpose. And Spirit is just saying, remember, it's to grow through. We're to grow through these things. Now, one of the things they wanted to talk about was how some of us are really extra sensitive to things like solar flares and geostorms. And so part of that will affect our nervous system. When that big excess energy is coming through, it will affect our sympathetic nervous system. So the nervous system is divided into two parts. So we have the sympathetic nervous system, that's your fight or flight, right? That's like that sense of survival. That's that, do I stay or do I go kind of energy, which I feel like most of the population is stuck in that sympathetic nervous system just because of the way the planet is. And then we have our parasympathetic nervous system, and Spirit always shows it to me as, so parasympathetic as in a parachute. There's a parachute coming to save you. And so the parasympathetic nervous system is our soothing, right? It's our calming. It's where we feel that sense of safety, right? Where we don't have to run. And so what happens is when we have these big excess energies coming in, our sympathetic nervous system becomes activated. So we have to do things consciously to counter that, right? So that the brain doesn't grab onto things, because that's what the brain does, and say, oh my God, this is horrible. There's a solar flare coming in. The Schumann is spiking, whatever's going on. And then send a signal to our sympathetic nervous system. This is bad. This is a red alert. We need to put houses on fire, right? So what we need to do is we need to hack that. We need to hack that. And we have to, they're just saying that this is going to be our hack right now. It's going to be that the reminder that everything is happening for a purpose and that everything is serving our highest good. Now, what does that mean for you individually? Feel into it. You need to feel into that, because depending on where you are on your journey, depending on what your focus is right now in this moment, is it relationships? Is it your physical body? Is it the health and the stability and the strength, the stamina? Is it your career, your sense of purpose, right? It could be all of those things all at once. Many times I've had all of those things showing up for me on my plate at one time. So much fun. But pay attention, because right now they're just saying that a lot of us are reaching tipping points again energetically. So energetically, when we reach a tipping point, it will send us into the sympathetic nervous system, and then we get stuck there. Spiritually saying, we get locked in there. So we're going to be doing things to counter that, right? So feel into that. We are starting our group mentorship tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you haven't seen me post about it, this is going to be 6 weeks of us coming together, creating a sacred vessel, a space to heal and grow through together. And Spirit showing me tonight, our first night together, we're going to be working on our nervous systems. We're going to be recalibrating it. They're going to give us some really powerful hacks. So if you're not registered for this yet, go to my website, so jody-jones.com. All the links are in the bio, and save your spot so you can join us tonight and we can start doing some real work on your nervous system. Sending you guys huge, huge blessings.